Man, that ending to WWE Monday Night Raw. That ending to Raw. Why can't we just get effort like this from the WWE? Like I'm not asking for, oh, I need crazy stuff every week. I just want effort. That ending to Raw was awesome. But you know who also was awesome? Becky Lynch. Wow. Have I been proven wrong about Becky Lynch? Now keep in mind, my history with Becky Lynch is pretty much this. Yo! I called her female Finn Balor. Why? Because I find Finn Balor absolutely boring. And I felt Becky Lynch, all she is like, oh yeah, I'm the Irish loss kicker. I'm ready to kick some loss and everything like that. I was like, man, I'm tired of this. And so they turned Becky Lynch, quote unquote, babyface, heel, whatever you want to say. And I said it made no sense for Becky Lynch to be a heel. Maybe a badass babyface, but a heel, no. And really, to be honest, she's not really a heel. But this could have been something where it's like, all right, it's cute. You're giving the fans a bone, WWE. But you're not making this interesting. Just go back to your usual crap. Just give it to the queen. But then all of a sudden, Becky Lynch is like, You're giving me this opportunity. I am going to be a man, not a woman. You're not going to label me as that. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to have more balls than half the male rosters on the WWE. And I'm going to take those balls and show them to you. Vince McMahon likes to talk about his grapefruits. Becky Lynch has bigger grapefruits than Vincent Kennedy McMahon right now. Becky Lynch is awesome. Y'all know the history of this channel. Comparing her to female Finn Balor. But right now, Becky Lynch is past female Finn Balor status. Is past of being this boring competitor that I once thought of her. She is actually literally taking the crap that WWE is giving her and making it work and making it exciting. I mean, seriously. At first, I was like, I don't know. The Charlotte segments in her between her and Charlotte were good. I liked them. But I was just not feeling it. Then the cutting edge. I feel like the cutting edge segment was like the best one. Because that wasn't like Becky. Because like Becky's first heel promo was like, you fans let me down. And I was like, oh, stop. The fans want you to succeed. No fan is like, oh, screw Becky Lynch. Even I'm not the biggest Becky Lynch fan, and I was like, man, they should do something with Becky. Heck, I even said in my Money in the Bank predictions, I said, if any woman needs this the most, it's Becky Lynch. You know, I thought Becky was going to win the Money in the Bank, or I said she should. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Becky Lynch, so I even felt bad for Becky Lynch. I thought it was BS at SummerSlam that friggin' Becky Lynch, the triple threat, had to happen. Like, what? Oh, you couldn't trust Becky Lynch to carry Carmella to a decent match? Like, come on, man. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, that's what I hated when I first heard her original heel promos. It was always like her trying to be a heel. Her trying to act like we hated her and stuff like that. We're like, no. But then when you get Becky Lynch just being full throttle, being angry, going to the Performance Center, kicking Charlotte Flair's ass and all that other stuff, it was just resonating well. And that cutting edge segment, like I said, that's where I felt like Becky finally turned the point where it's like, yeah, she's good. And then most recently, this feud with Ronda Rousey, Car Girl, Cringe Ronda. Now it's taking her to the next level. And WWE really needs to capitalize right now with Becky Lynch on this next level. I understand the long-term goal for Ronda Rousey. I appreciate WWE for actually trying to long-term book Ronda Rousey as an undefeated superstar. That is fine. And I get it. And I do appreciate it. Because one of my major complaints with WWE is they don't long-term book anymore. And here they have an idea and a vision with Ronda Rousey. And I can understand your idea and vision with Ronda Rousey, especially with who you want her to face at WrestleMania. But just because you have one game plan does not mean you should always stick to it. Sometimes it is best to call an audible. I don't know what they're planning for Survivor Series, but I feel like a good audible would be maybe Becky Lynch was a surprise win. Kind of like a Holly Holm type of thing. Be kind of fitting, you know, one Irish superstar beats Ronda Rousey in the UFC, and then we can have another one do it. So it makes sense. And yes, Holly Holm is part Irish. I don't think anyone knew that, or cared, but I just thought it was a funny little conundrum there. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I feel like it's like WWE should, just see what happens if Becky Lynch wins at Survivor Series. And keep in mind, bigger Ronda Rousey fan than I am Becky Lynch. But and this goes because of Ronda's UFC pass and everything like that. Like, I bought every Ronda Rousey UFC card, even the ones where she got her ass kicked. I bought every single one of them. But I feel like with WWE, it's just like, right now, it's just like, you have something with Becky Lynch. So go for it. Instead of going with the safe halfback dive, run up the middle, why don't you go with a play action bomb to the end zone? Why don't you see? Maybe the receiver doesn't catch it, us being the fans, but I feel like it's something that we wouldn't expect, and it's something that the WWE doesn't really do anymore, and that's try to take chances and risk. For as much as I do appreciate the long-term vision and booking of, I'll keep Ronda undefeated until Mania with Charlotte Flair, woo, and everything like that. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I want to see Rousey versus Charlotte. Don't get me wrong, that's a great matchup. As much as I like to see Ronda versus Nia Jax and Ronda versus Becky Lynch right now and everything else. Yeah, those are good matchups, but wouldn't it be better for Becky Lynch, for the amount of time and effort that you've done with her, to give her something that she can tip her hat to? So that way, if she does lose the SmackDown Women's Championship, she can always be the one that she ended the streak of Ronda Rousey. That would actually be giving something to someone that actually needs it a lot more. Because let's be real here. When Charlotte ended Asuka's streak, did she really need it? I bet you if you ask someone, just like casually, like in just a random game of wrestling trivia. I don't know if you kids do that nowadays, but I used to remember back in the good old days of the YWC, most of us would get on Skype and we would play trivia games. We would ask each other like random ass wrestling questions. And sometimes you would think, oh no, Chase, that's obvious. But you would forget because we would say no Google or anything like that and everything. So when it came down to it, it would be like, if you ask someone who ended Asuka's streak, a lot of people would probably catch themselves and like be like, oh, who did? Because they don't talk about that much. Asuka's epic long 2.5-year undefeated streak is kind of just pushed to the wayside because Charlotte won it. It's not really all that important that Charlotte broke that streak because Charlotte seems to get everything. But Becky Lynch is like kind of like throwing a bone. It'll give the fans something that we don't expect. It'll make people go like, oh, what? Ronda Rousey lost in the WWE? Because what's Rousey ultimately losing? She's not going to lose her Raw Women's Championship. It's not like Rousey losing to Becky Lynch, who you've been building as a badass, would hurt all that bad. Because look at that. The last woman standing match, I'm pretty sure for people who watched Evolution, checked out Evolution, even if they're first-time fans, they would say, you know what? After watching that last woman standing match, they could believe that not only Charlotte, but that Becky Lynch could stand toe-to-toe with Ronda Rousey at any time. And then also, you can get more money on the future rematch of Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. And sure, it might be a little bit more obvious that Ronda Rousey would beat Becky in the rematch. Or how about you make it where Becky Lynch is Ronda Rousey's kryptonite? Where it's like Ronda Rousey has that one person she can't figure out. And it's Becky Lynch. And it's just something that's an interesting fun fact or interesting thing that you can always bring up. And that also brings an interesting twist because then every time when Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch fight each other, you can bring it up that Ronda Rousey tends to struggle with Becky Lynch. It's just been something in the past history. Because really, to be honest, when you look at how Ronda's been doing it to WWE, I don't see this as like, oh yeah, Ronda's been here for a year, it's done. I really feel like Ronda Rousey's going to be with the WWE for like 3 years. And I feel like if Ronda Rousey is going to be with the WWE for a long period of time, having her not lose until WrestleMania, I get it and I appreciate and I understand that long-term booking process. I understand you guys sticking to your guns, saying, hey, we're just going to take this ball 80 yards down the field, drain the clock, and we'll get a touchdown. But you wasted 8 minutes getting that freaking touchdown. You took your time. You let the defense of the other team figure out all your play calls, your signals, and everything like that. Maybe you should take a shot deep. Maybe it won't connect. Maybe it'll be something that doesn't go well. Maybe it'll lead to an interception or something. Who knows? But at least you tried. And I feel like WWE really, 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 really needs to capitalize with Becky Lynch right now. Because, like, I'm not saying Ronda will become hated, because I feel like Ronda Rousey is like one of those people, like, people will be like, we get it, it's Ronda Rousey. We understand why Becky couldn't win. But I feel like if Ronda's going to be long-term, if you want something to talk about for Survivor Series, because that's another thing is, Survivor Series, what is there to really talk about with this event? There's not really one thing where I'm thinking to my head, okay, they don't have a storyline set in place where it's like, oh, the fans will be buzzing about it. It's just Raw versus SmackDown. So I'm just wondering, like, why don't you throw people a bone? Why don't you make Survivor Series shocking? Why don't you get people to actually want to use their free month for the network to sign up to go rewatch Survivor Series, get those Survivor Series watches up there, make Survivor Series a trending event of all time? Because Ronda Rousey losing to Becky Lynch, you care about your social media metrics and you care about everything else. WWE, I know you really don't care what people are saying on social media, but how nice would it be if actually people clicked on the trending thing, and instead of people bitching and moaning about, oh, Ronda Rousey beat Becky, they don't care about Becky, blah, 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 and it's people saying OMFG, flame emoji, I don't know emojis, crying emoji, Becky the man emoji, I don't know. How much would that be better than, oh, Becky got buried by Ronda? I'm just saying. All I know is that I'm going to Survivor Series, and I'm excited. So, yeah. Throw a Hail Mary. Play action. Deep bomb. Just do it, WWE. Anyways, what do you guys think of this video? Leave it your opinions in the comment section down below. If you disagree, that's all more than welcome on the Chase Oliver channel. Thank you all very much. Remember, guys, just like Brock Lesnar, our Universal Champion, sometimes you don't have to give a shit in life. And yo, oh fuck, I messed up on that one. That's botch.